Thank you for sitting and talking a bit about intensive therapy retreats.
No problem. My pleasure.
I have a bunch of questions for you.
All right. Bring it on.
My first question is, if someone is looking at this because they want to understand just sort of logistically when they step through a retreat, what will the steps be? What will it be like for them?
Sure. So, in going through an intensive itself is going to be a unique experience for every client. No two people are going to go through the retreat in the same way. Very, very individualized experience. That being said, there are some generalities throughout the process. So the first day is going to feel a lot more like a quote unquote typical talk therapy session. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, getting a lot of information. And part of that information gathering piece is going to be coming up with what's called the worst things list, which is a list of the worst things that have ever happened to you. And this list is going to give us the targets of what we are looking to work on during our time together. We can't get every little thing, but we want to try and get the big ones for folks. And this gives us a roadmap throughout the retreat, throughout that processing phase. Once we transition into the processing piece. And there's always room to add more things to the list. If other stuff comes up, you can totally adjust that. Now, I do also like to work in chronological order with folks. And, starting with that earliest stuff that, not always, but it, does tend to be sort of like the heaviest stuff, the stuff that we've been carrying around with us for the longest, that those attachment wounds, essentially. And we start our processing journey at that earliest stuff, working our way up to the most recent stuff. And there is flexibility there. However, that's sort of like a general rule of thumb or like a starting point that I like to go off of in this retreat format. Now, going back to that, the first day, that, more sort of like talk therapy feeling ish day, in addition to, gathering all this information, asking a lot of questions, getting that worst things list, I have a few different visualization exercises that I like to do with folks to add they're focused around grounding, calming, container type tools to add to their toolkit, things that we'll use during our work together, and these are also tools that they can take out with them out into the quote unquote real world and use as needed. Just add those to their own personal toolkit as well. Now, once we get through the more information gathering piece, we transition into that processing phase. And that processing phase, again, is going to be very different from person to person. It's a very unique, very individualized experience. And to delve into that processing, the sort of two main tools that I have that I use in my toolbox. I have others, but these are sort of the starting points for me, are EMDR and parts work.